back at 8:45 from executive session where we discussed litigation. There's no motions out of executive session.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Well, I think we should talk about rental.
Oh, okay.
Bill, you want to make a presentation?
Yeah, I could do that. I'm not sure what you come up with in there, but it's about my opt-out. You have the choice right there, either saving $10,000 a year on mine, opt-out. I've been taking it for about 5 years, so the township's probably saved close to $50,000 in the last 5 years by my taking an opt-out. The opt-out that I'm seizing doesn't pay my insurance right now. I'm about $200 a month short. I asked for an increase of $200, which would put me over the 30%, what the contract says. The insurance, if you buy the insurance, if I take the insurance, it'll cost you a little over $18,000 a year just to cover me. I'll go from probably one of the least expensive employees didn't cover to the most expensive one. If you elect to give me my $200, you'll save, my opt-out will be around $8,000, roughly. That'll save you $10,000 a year. That is still about almost 60% savings. Before, when I got 30% of the actual cost, just had to just say 70%. Now, if you give me this, it'll be a little bit less, but you've been saving 70% for the last 5 years. Our contract says that you will furnish or pay for our health insurance. By changing your policies, you lowered your premiums, but you still pick up the extra charges on the rest of the employees. Anything that they have over that, you still pick that up. But that don't pick mine up, because mine still stays at the 30% of the premium that you're paying. So it's actually discriminating against me, because everybody else gets theirs all paid, I don't.
Okay, am I right in saying that you signed up for the company plan?
I signed up, but
Okay. Which is your right.
I signed up with the understanding that if you voted to give me the opt-out, that they would drop me without any charges in the first month, after the first month.
And what is it that went up for you? Your supplemental insurance?
Sure, all my insurance, everything mine, I got Medicare, everything went up. Everything, just like everybody else's insurance, it went up. I didn't take it last year, I didn't push it last year, because last year I had health issues, and I could not afford to change my health insurance. That's not the case this year. It's a lose-lose or a win-win. That's what it is.
Well,
Either I get my insurance paid, and you save $10,000, or I don't.
yeah, but you gotta remember, you're talking about changing the contract.
No. What's that?
You wanna change the contract. You wanna move off the 30%. Now, you can check with your union brothers, but we can't carve you out.
You can't do what?
We can't carve you out and make a separate deal with you.
You're not making no special deal, you're not changing the contract.
No, you're not changing.
Oh,
the
yes, we are, if the
They're not.
percentage goes up.
No, you're not. You're gonna pay him his 30% plus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
If you tried to pay him 25%, now you're in the
changing the
contract.
contract.
the 30% plus is changing the contract
You're not
because the
changing
contract
the
says
contract.
30%. Darren,
I just had a question.
yeah.
If, I don't understand what you said by changing the contract, only for the fact that if you would give him the difference of money, because I listened to what he said, and the value of him opting out is gonna save the township roughly, you said 10 grand.
Yes.
Yeah.
If, I don't care if you call it a stipend, anything, you don't have to call it 30% on that thing to finish that up, but my goodness,
Fraud.
is that,
That'd be fraud to call it something it's not.
well, is that what it is? I mean, he said that he gets, if he gets co-pays paid for, and he doesn't get co-pays paid for.
That's his choice.
Yeah.
But $20,000 or $10,000 savings of the contract,
Hey, I have no dog in this
No, I'm
fight. I'm
asking-
surprised that this comes up in a public meeting, because this seems to me like something rather personal. But since you brought it up, there's been, since you presented that thing, you don't know enough about the insurance you're talking about. You need to find out a little bit more before you get up there and try to sell this to everybody. I'm just.
What don't I know? What don't I know?
I'm
I
not,
think you should
you
let
know what,
the
this
audience
is your show, honey, you go
fight
ahead.
with each other.
Okay,
but that's the question I had. I mean, I didn't know if if calling it that is why you think it has to change the contract. Or if I'm wrong by thinking that it's not, it's only one thing and you'd have to change the contract to do that. I don't know.
If you
I just
come
look
off-
at what he
the
just
way I
said.
see it, if you come off the 30%, you're changing the contract.
Can I, has the township ever given you more than the percentage before? They,
Yes, we started out, it was at 50%.
what I'm asking is, has the township ever given you over the percentage,
The 30%?
yeah, before? Or the 50%?
No, I
Did the
don't think
township
so.
ever, I mean, I just was asking.
No, not that I know of. I mean, we had that one problem right there where there was being money deducted, and we didn't know what it was for, and we went back for it, and at one point, Mike said, well, we owe you $300 or $400 or something like that, and I said, I don't know until we go through all of it. We go through the whole rigmarole mess.
Right.
And we went through the mess, and it turned out that I owed you, I don't know what it was, a couple $100 or something like that, and I paid you, and it was settled deal. But I didn't know. And the union will never, ever give anybody any problem for doing more for an employee, only when you do less. And I still think that, and it's come right down, push comes to shove, you are still paying everybody else. You're giving them the same benefits that they had up here. And when you change the plans down to here, you're still giving them those same benefits, but I'm not getting those same benefits. Because your premium was up here, you dropped it down here for your premiums.
Well, you are now because you signed up for the plan.
What's that?
You are now because you signed up for the plan.
I signed up to the plan with that idea. It was either a win-win for both of us, we both come out of it with something positive, or we both come out of it with negative. Either you pay me the $8,000, or you pay the insurance company $18,000. Over, 18 plus. That's the bottom line, right there.
Based on, I have yet to find, you didn't give us any figures.
You should have the figures.
Huh?
You should have the figures. You're in charge of the insurance.
Yeah, no, yeah, but when you want something, you gotta show me what you want.
What,
I can't find where your insurance would cost you that much.
I give it to you. I gave it all to you. Every bit of what my insurance cost me. I gave it to you. I handed it to you personally.
Yes, and it doesn't add up to that.
Yes, it does. The only thing that doesn't add up to that is because my wife's Medicare was not there, and it's the same thing as what mine is. Because it goes with your age, after you're certain age.
Yeah.
It comes to $659 a month. It's what it adds up to.
And what do you get?
$455 or something like that with the new one.
No, it was $585 or something, wasn't it?
No, it dropped.
Oh,
That's
oh, it was $585, okay.
Yeah, it just dropped it down another level. I was not getting enough to pay for it for the last couple of years. but you dropped it down. And by the way, how much money have you saved by this anyway? Have you saved any money with changing the premiums? Have you saved any money?
I don't know.
That's why you was doing it, you were saving money. Did you save any money? You don't know.
I don't know. That ain't, originally, that ain't why we did it. Originally, the plan that you had, well, that, not you didn't have, but that everybody else had, went away.
The plan went away, it was just, didn't go away, it was just moved around a little bit. They actually had the same benefits, it was just under a different plan, a different thing. You just keep dropping it down.
Could I say something? It's not you personally, it's not like Ewens or you, it's all over. The school employees are having the same issues because everybody's premiums have changed. The plans are changing, the carriers are changing. Reimbursements stink. Everybody knows that, and we're all stuck with it. I'm just trying to help you see. I'm listening. I listened when you gave that big presentation before. But it's not like they're out to get you, or anybody's out to get you or you or you. That's what we have available. If that plan no longer is available, you've got to choose another plan. My own school where I work, the same thing happened.
But what you don't understand is the plane changed, but they have the same coverage.
I understand what
They
you're
have
saying.
exactly the same coverage.
The
The
same-
only thing that changed.
It's the same
Keep
thing you
it
did
this
have.
way, this way.
Direct your talk to the table, but when you're saying they have the same coverage, you mean you, because you signed up.
What's that?
Did you not sign up? For the
I signed
company?
up
He's
with
explained that to you.
understanding that they had a month to take me off if you decided to pay me what I needed for my opt-out to break even, not to make any money. It used to be 50%.
That was a different contract.
What's that?
That was a different contract,
Uh-uh.
right? That was a
I don't
different
know,
contract.
I don't know how they did that, but I don't care. I don't care. I wasn't using it to make money. I just wanted the same thing that they have. They have their health insurance covered. I would like to have mine.
Yours is covered if you don't opt out.
What's that?
Yours is covered if you don't opt out.
At a higher cost to the township.
Yeah. Mine's covered if I don't opt out? Yeah, if
Yeah.
I don't opt,
Right.
yeah. But it costs you considerably. I go from the cheapest person probably to the most expensive person.
Okay.
I tell you, if I could get $200 a month and get a return of 10 grand, I'd do it every day of the week.
Well,
Make business sense.
can I ask you a question? When he's saying, he's getting the money, obviously, business people aren't paying the employees the money, they're paying it to the insurance. So you would, am I understanding this? You would pay the $200 to his insurance
He
supplement,
opted
so,
out,
No,
so it
it's
goes
an opt-out.
to him.
no.
The way,
He's saying you're paying me the money.
Betty, the way
That's
it works
because
right
you opted
now
out.
is.
I know how it works, I've opted out for 25
Oh.
years. I understand.
I'm.
And I've never got money. It's
Oh.
always been paid. If they were going to pay something, it's paid to the insurance. The supplement that he's saying, that he's, and I have the same deal, Medicare, so I understand. I just am asking a question.
We
You
here
wouldn't
pay
be
to the
giving,
employee.
because Doug said you'd be paying him $200 and saving, you're paying him personally $200.
We,
Yes.
we do pay the employees, the opt-out money.
Oh,
It's-
I've never heard of that from a business standpoint. Okay, I apologize.
It actually goes in their
I'm-
paycheck.
Oh, okay, I never heard of
Yes.
such a thing.
That's,
It usually went to the insurance
understand
company.
what you-
You'd have no record then if, I could go shopping with that $200. I'm just saying, it's what it looks
been-
like.
it's been done that way since before we were here.
Okay.
It goes in their paycheck.
Well, just because it's always been done that way
Right.
doesn't mean it's right. So I don't know how much money you really think you're saving. I'm sorry, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? You done, Bill, or?
That's pretty much what it is right there. It's either, I just can't see why or how you can throw that kind of money away. and I'm not getting any more than anybody else is. I'm just bringing up to what they have.
But you are asking for a contract change.
Pardon?
You are asking for a contract change.
No, I'm not asking for a contract change.
Or you're gonna get more than 30%, that's outside the contract.
I understand that.
Well, then you're asking for a contract change.
Is that a contract
It-
change?
No,
It's practice.
What?
I'm just asking for what the rest of them are getting, that's all I'm asking.
You can't do one thing for one person.
Yeah. You can't carve them out.
The other people have an equal right
Right.
to more money, whatever. If they were in the same circumstance, they'd have a right to that.
So then every employee we have an opt-out would get.
Right,
I don't see how they wouldn't.
right,
I mean, you have to treat everybody the same.
right.
Mhm.
Okay,
Looks like you're gonna stay on their insurance bill.
What's that?
Looks like you're gonna stay on their insurance.
It's a lose-lose deal, that's all it is.
anybody?
There's no way to make that non-precedent setting.
You're looking at me, I don't know how that would happen. I certainly can't tell you that I know how that could happen.
Wasn't this brought up like a month or so ago, because you guys had a month until you had to know an answer? Why do we go a whole month and nobody's done anything or checked into anything to make a decision up there today? Because isn't your time up June 1st? Bill?
30 days.
I didn't know it constituted changing the contract.
You agreed,
Right.
you agreed.
But I don't know enough to know.
Yeah,
I
that-
thought you're a union guy.
I'm gonna move that we grant his request based upon, the union agreeing to use your language.
Well, I'm just saying that you're really renegotiating a contract.
That
what you're
provision,
talking about.
sure.
You can always renegotiate the contract.
That provision.
Don't have to renegotiate a contract. I'm not telling you to do that, I'm saying you could.
Renegotiate the contract.
No. To change the
For-
terms.
Contract.
No, you can always
Memorandum
change
of
For-
understanding.
Well, I'm not advising you
Yeah.
to do that. I'm saying, the question was to me, could you make it, like, treat one person different? So now I'm on the road crew and I wanna, whatever, I wanna trim trees and I wanna get paid more. And the contract just doesn't allow that. Well, you can open the contract, now you got a new position, tree trimmer, and I get paid $2 more an hour.
Yeah.
And then the contract goes back in effect. But I'm now different than everybody else because the contract negotiated me differently, that's all. That's not, I mean, that's not something that's a big unusual thing. Meaning that's self-apparent, obviously, you could do that.
So you would have the Bill Riggle clause.
Yeah, and I'm not
That's what
saying
you're
that's a
saying.
good
Yeah.
idea, I'm just saying that's not impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, whether that would be wise is, I'm not saying that I think that's a wise thing to do. I'm just saying that's, you asked me, is
It's
there
a
anything you can
possibility,
do? Yeah, you could do that.
Darren?
Now, I'm not sure about, what you said, I really had to think about that, because if it is a contract change, it's a contract change. But I know, and I was going back through when I was a grievance person in the American Plain Glassworks, which is a union. And whenever we had a guy who missed more days, than what he should have, and should have been left off on 3 days off, and because he was the only one that could run a machine, they did not let him off because they needed that machine to run, and they didn't renegotiate the contract for that. And that put a value of money in his pocket. So just going back over that thought, I don't think it would be a change for a monetary value if it exceeds what that is. But you would have to check with the union and with somebody that knows more,
Yeah, remember.
just to be sure. But I think, and Tom, you were in a union, And you, I remember you telling one time
But
you got
Darren, I have a
stepped
question,
over.
I have a question with your example there.
Okay,
The next time you had a guy that missed too many days, and they wanted to lay him off or send him, discipline him, did he not go to the union and and the union say, past practice?
not to my knowledge.
How many times you guys on the school board, how many times you do MOUs with non-precedent setting? We did them all
But
the
the
time.
thing is, Ed, if it benefits the company, they can always exceed what the contract says,
And go below it.
if it benefits the person. But if it benefits the company and doesn't benefit the person, then he can file a grievance. So, but if you're benefiting the person,
Well, when can
Am I
you
saying that right, Tom?
renegotiate the contract?
I
Maybe
mean,
the whole
you know
thing
that
needs
is right.
renegotiated.
you know, I mean, that's something you're benefiting, the company's extending farther than they usually do to get what they want. And if they get what they want, and he gets what he wants, they're more worried about getting what they want. And if he benefits from what they want, then they want it, then they get it. And there's no contract changes for that.
I understand that.
Okay.
Well, no, there is a contract change because they will hit you with past practice. And it's across the board. There's no way you can do it.
Well,
For one
that's
person.
individual, and you would have to bring that back up to union if it ever happened again. But I can tell you that, just from what I know and what I told you, that's all that I can tell you. I can't look in the future and say who's gonna do what, or said what, or gonna change, and everybody gonna go get, their wives are gonna get better jobs, and they're all gonna wanna opt out. I mean, look at the odds of that. I mean, it can happen though. I mean, anything can happen.
Yeah.
And I understand your
Bernie
value,
Sanders gets elected, it will be moved.
but the value of the difference of what this is still under you guys up there to figure out if it's worth it to save 10 grand or not.
It's actually-
But just from what I know of a union, and from what you said, is the only reason why I use what I had to go through as an example. And remembering what, at one time I talked, we talked about it with somebody else, and knowing that that does happen, and sure, you do have that percentage of past practice, but I know more than once, past practice fell back in our face in the union because of something they know.
Exactly.
I don't care about past practice, this is what we're doing today, we're going here forward. So you don't get what you want, and you can't file your grievance, and that's the end of it. So, knowing that, what you do today don't mean anything tomorrow. They could go back and they could do that, and they wouldn't be able to do anything with
Let's
it.
ask the lawyer what he thinks of that.
I mean,
Yeah, that's asking, because I've been on both sides of that now that I'm remembering more.
you generally wanna follow the contract.
Yeah.
I think all you have to have is a memorandum
Memorandum.
of understanding.
Right. So, but anyhow, that was I just wanted to finish that, just to give you a little insight what I know, because I don't know if you was ever in the union, ever went through any of that stuff. But that's what I know.
Because, so therefore he's
But Darren,
less. So then he
this
is
contract
less.
that I've read that and seen.
You can talk louder.
This contract that they have, the contract that you and I have been in,
It goes both ways.
ain't even close.
Not my decision.
Whenever you had a grievance and you had a representative, he got paid by your local. We have to pay him. The township, his local doesn't have to pay him to sit there and listen to us in the grievance. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
But what?
But
That's a
I
whole
don't-
different ballgame than what you was in and I was in. The company did not pay you to sit there and have a grievance against them.
I think I understand what you're saying.
Well, we do.
So when you go to a
If Ed
grievance-
sits there and listens, he turns in a time for that.
But
To
not your.
us, not the local, where it should be. To us.
Kathy.
Well, they set that up way before I did.
Well, I'm just telling you the way it
Yeah,
is.
that's kind of
And-
silly. I mean,
Silly. It's dumb on the part of whoever signed it.
Right, but that, you gotta deal with what you got now, and
I
if you
know
can
that.
adjust it
I
for
know
later, you can
that.
adjust it for later.
I know it.
Kathy.
Well,
my thought is this, if you have many grievances with the union, a union contract is a union contract is a union contract, okay? And that contract gets renegotiated every certain number of years,
Exactly.
okay? So in the meantime, it behooves the township to not harass the union, not to, have all these grievances, because if what you say is true, not only is the township paying for their bill to fight you, you're paying for your own attorney to fight those grievances. And that doesn't make one iota sense.
No.
Okay, so the ideal would be for the township to save the taxpayers money and, stop trying to change a contract that's in existence and wait and be patient and then renegotiate it.
Well, I don't think that,
Ed,
Okay, well, it doesn't matter whether you think it's right or not. You still got the contract to deal with,
right.
okay?
You're right.
So in 2 years, when it comes up, then you guys talk about it and you renegotiate it. But in the meantime, why do you want to fight all these grievances?
Ed,
I am the union store for Local 66 for Donegal Township Road Department.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Greaves, how many hours did we sit there and talk about Heather's grievances?
I don't know, but if I
You were
would have
there.
known, now wait a minute. If I would have known the circumstances when I went there, I wouldn't have went there.
How long was we there?
I don't know.
Half hour,
Okay, a half hour.
okay.
Okay.
How much money was that?
I don't know, but what I'm
$12.
saying, Ed, is I'm not against, I'm not saying this
Well, what I'm
against
getting at
you.
is, when we go to
You don't
arbitration-
understand that. I'm not saying this against you. I'm saying that if you belong to a local, Darren will verify this, you pay your dues to that local, am I right or wrong?
Yes, we do.
Okay. That local should be paying you.
They pay me when we go to arbitration.
No, if you take a person, if I
that's not,
take Ed in
Actually,
the office,
in the real world,
in which car, and I'm.
You don't live in the real world.
I've actually done
No,
this.
no,
Ed.
I've done this.
I have too.
I was the president of local. If I took him in there on a grievance, he had a grievance.
I understand.
The
that.
local pays me. The
You actually-
company does not. My time stops the minute I go in that office.
We actually used to have to go punch out. Go to the meeting and come back and punch back.
There you go. I'm telling you. I'm not saying, this is not
But that-
against you,
but
Ed.
that's irrelevant to
Don't
this.
think it's against you. I'm against the person that ever signed this thing. That's who I'm against, and I didn't have nothing to do with it.
Well, I just
Wasn't
wanted to
even here.
clarify that, these meetings are 15 minutes. half
I
hour long.
understand that, but if you you understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
That, you pay dues to that
But I
local,
said
and that's
listen.
where it should come from.
I listen to everything that goes on in this
Okay.
meeting, and you just gave $10,000 away. What's $12?
We didn't give anything away yet. We're still talking about it.
But time's a ticking. I mean, you got to
Well,
first.
hey,
Mr. Greaves, before you were supervisor, you sat right here across this table, and Mr. Riggle presented this, and you were in favor of it at that time. What changed your mind?
nothing changed my mind. I was in favor of it.
You're in favor of it? Or you're not in favor of buying of an MOU to make this work for him?
If that's what it takes, that's what it takes. But the only thing of it is, if you're gonna change the contract, they didn't say nothing about changing the
No,
contract.
I don't, I,
There at that table, they never said one word about changing the contract.
no, that was never mentioned.
Okay,
But we could put a memorandum of understanding together how it's gonna
well, you
work.
got, whatever he says, if it will work and it don't get us on down the road. That's the main thing. If it don't, You know, if you pet this dog and get him settled down, but you turn around and he bites you in the ass, you don't want that.
I don't know how we're gonna achieve labor unrest in this township. Never been an issue until last 2 years.
Well,
Let me just interject.
I told you never.
Just because I just learned this moment. If we were going to do a memorandum of understanding and modify the contract so that this is the only person that could get in excess of that 30%, there's only 2 days left to do that.
If you can do that,
Well, I'm telling you, that's what there
I
is.
mean, if
There's
you
no
can
2
do that,
days. Do I think I can do that?
yeah.
I have no idea.
Well,
terrible.
that's the thing right there, Shane.
That's
I mean-
terrible. You don't know what you can do.
I don't know you're dead right. I don't know if I could negotiate that tomorrow. I would be surprised to know the union would say, sure, he's the only guy, nobody else will get it.
Yeah.
Maybe they will, maybe
I
they
don't
won't.
think it
You
requires
telling
a
me you
union
know
change, but I
that?
see what you're saying.
A memorandum of understanding has to be agreed upon by both sides, Darren, so it is a negotiation, it's not just him sitting down and writing up a paper.
Both sides have to sign it.
As long as unions agree with it, I don't see why the union wouldn't agree with it, because it's a benefit to the guy, to the union member. That's what I see what you're saying. So, if Wade left here, and I knew you liked chocolate ice cream, and I said, hey, you know what, I'm gonna go get you chocolate ice cream, do I have to ask you, or do I just go get it and you eat it because you like it? That was an example. If you tell him you're gonna give it to him, you think he's gonna fight you on it? The memorandum of understanding only works if you have something discussed between both sides. You can write it up, and if you agree with it, why wouldn't he agree with it? He's the one asking for it.
Because it's all about the wording, and again, past practice, narrowly written, so it
That's
only,
why you don't write that stuff down. You just,
It only-
we never wrote that down whenever he gave that guy that stuff. That was
it
the
only
end of
covers one person. I honestly can't see, I'm not a lawyer,
Well,
but contract, I don't see how you carve out a person in a contract. I just don't.
I don't see it as a carve out.
I would,
Absolutely,
I
it's a
would just
carve-out.
like to say, since now the MOU has come up and the school board has come up, that's why the school's in the mess it's in. Thank you.
Yeah.
I still have my,
I'm not
You're
gonna say
talking
anything.
about carving out. You already carved him out. Because you haven't given him the benefits of the rest of the people.